Yes. Okay. Welcome to the Amazing Heat DreamTribe call with myself, Michael, and Mariah, and Lana. It is the second week of June. No.
Yeah, we're in June.
Second week of June. And, oh, that's sweet. Hi, Kitty. And we have had a number of amazing conversations with a variety of our team and also aha moments with ourselves that have just brought to light kind of like the organic training that we both kind of feel like needs to take place for today. And so we're going to record this so that way we can share it. I have my notes and we have our plan, but of course the call is always organic and we never know what's going to happen.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've got the baby.
Okay. So one of the things that we've been okay. So
we're talking about DMO.
When I think so we've been in this business for 12 years now. And one of the things that I like to do for myself is at the end of every month, I fire myself. And the beginning of every month, I rehire myself. And so part of that rehiring process is getting clear on where would I like to see my business, my Juice Plus business at the end of the month. So every month I am re-upping goals in the same way that every month we're doing the Shred 10 to re-up our health, right? Every month I'm re-upping my goals and my vision for how I want to close out the month. That being said, now that I know what that vision is for how I want to close out the month, then I'm going to work backwards and create my DMO. I think in the military, it's daily method of operation. Many of you have probably heard Nikki say daily magnificent outcome. What I'm going to say is, because we don't have control over the outcome, right? But we do have control over the opportunity that we create. And so it's a daily magnificent opportunity that we are scheduling. And we know we've heard Chris Cotton say over and over again, if you want something to happen, you've got to schedule it. If you want more free time, you've got to schedule it. If you want spontaneity, you've got to schedule it. If you want to build your Juice Plus business, you've got to have it in your calendar. Your calendar is your king. Okay. Okay. So that being said,
so in other words, I often hear people say, I have these big goals. I feel like I'm quote unquote working, but let's get really specific with what is a day-to-day touching your Juice Plus franchise look like in a way that will result in changing people's lives from a health perspective and a wealth perspective, both for yourself and for your team members. So we wanted to get into those nitty-gritty specifics.
Yep. So we love the audience participation. You're not an audience. You guys are the tribe. I love it. So we love the tribal contribution. So we'd love to see who out there feels like you have a DMO, a daily magnificent opportunity that is working for you that you'd love to share maybe in like a minute or two.
And share specifically what your days look like on a week-to-week basis. I see Denise.
Thank you, Denise. Feisty nice.
Okay, well, the first thing that I want to say is that there is always room for improvement with my DMO, but there are components of my DMO that work really well. So
Yes.
I'll share the parts that work really well and look for other people's awesome input for how I can grow in mine. One of the things that I do every single day is I learn something. So while I'm driving in the car, I don't listen to music. I listen to a podcast. I listen to a video. I listen to a past call, maybe something I wasn't able to make it onto. So that is part of every single day. And usually I listen to multiple things. I also have found myself getting into places sometimes where that's all I'm doing. And that doesn't grow my business. That helps fill the cup. So I also now very actively make sure that I contact at least 3 people a day. It always ends up being more than 3, but 3 is something that is a requirement for me. And I know some people use Teamsy, and I've used that some. I'm using a new thing called contact mapping, which basically just maps all of my conversations with all people throughout the day through my contacts, that I can just do verbal, and then I can set reminders of when I want to contact that person again and what I want to contact them about. And so it's helping me build relationships, not just Juice Plus relationships, but ones that could evolve into that down the road, or ways that I could just help people. So those are two things that I do every single day.
Wow, awesome.
That's awesome. And I gotta share some kudos, Denise. I think, and I hope that you see it as well. We definitely acknowledge that in your pay line, in your structure. You sponsored a new fast track to VF last month. You've been consistently sponsoring HLPs. So, and yes, you are humbly acknowledging that you can continue to grow, but I also think it's important that you also acknowledge, like you did here, that there are things that you're doing that are working.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, Feisty.
Thank you.
Right. Just consistently adding new customers and adding new team members and consistently touching your business every day is what do you have a feeling of how much time you invest if it's reaching out to 3 people and learning something? Do you have any ballpark of just quantifying how much time that takes you on a daily basis?
That's so interesting, because that's part of what I do as a person anyways. Sometimes it happens when I'm in the restaurant. Last night it was a new employee that was in with her dad for dinner, and I gave them 20 minutes of my time before I left. And that was a belly to belly, and I'll probably have 2 new customers from it. So there's 2 people. And then I stepped outside, and one of the people who was on my list to contact yesterday about Stacy Joy at the end of the month happened to walk out of Creekside right at the same time I was leaving, and I hadn't had a chance to get in touch with her. So then I got belly to belly with her. That was 5 minutes as we walked across the street together, spent a few minutes talking. So, 3 people, and I didn't even spend 30 minutes. And those are belly conversations, not even texts.
Well, and the 2 big things I'm hearing there too is it gets weaved into life.
Yes.
That's the reality of this. It's just you doing life. And number 2 is the importance of getting out of your house, going to new places, and just striking up conversations with people where you are.
Yes. And not just filling up my day with learning about Juice Plus, because that doesn't connect you with people.
Right.
In fact, what I've learned is in many ways that makes it harder, because it just adds so much more knowledge that you want to vomit on people instead of just not being the expert in creating the relationship.
Bingo. That's a really good point.
Yeah. Or not just doing Zoom calls. All these training calls are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you're doing the business builder call and the heat team call and a take healthy back call and this call, well, there's 2 hours a week. And then people go, oh, wow, I'm working 3 hours a week. But if this is it's awesome, but it's not necessarily going to generate more income.
Yeah.
So we might be growing the relationship with our existing sideline, but how are we growing our paycheck and our pay line and impacting more people? The other piece I just want to comment on what I heard you say is there was someone that you were wanting to connect with, meaning you had it in your mind and it happened organically. So you're weaving in moments, you're leaving the house, and you have in mind the people that you want to attract to you. And so as you're going about your day, they are able to find you because you are radiating that beacon of light.
And that happened twice last night. That second one, the first one, I was like, oh, perfect. I was thinking about you today and I wanted to connect with you. And they showed up at the restaurant. The second one, the one leaving the restaurant, was seriously like, when I walked out and I saw her walking, like we literally walked out at the same time. I was like, thank you, universe. I am so glad that I just put it out there, that this is what I need to have happen in my day. Because she was on my list all day and I kept thinking, I haven't had a chance to connect with her. I need to connect with her. I need to connect with her. I need to connect with her. And it happened.
Beautiful.
At 11:30 at night.
Kirsten, I see that you unmuted yourself. I'm guessing you have something to share.
Yeah, I've had a kind of a major shift in my DMO lately. as far as the structure of tracking things, I tried Team Z for a while, and honestly, it's not visual enough for me. So I just went back to the good old clipboard with a DMO sheet and my calendar, because honestly, so much of my contacting and whatnot these days is on the fly or in the car, or that I've got to have a place to immediately write it down, and Team Z just was not immediate enough for me. So I have to tell you, when I saw Stacy Joy's completely messy invite list in the invite training on Tuesday, it made my shoulders go down. It's like, oh my God, there's an NMD whose brain works like mine does. And so I think I've been trying to fit my brain into some systems that haven't really resonated, and just going back to paper, having a monthly schedule and a weekly schedule and a daily to-do list is really helping me. Yep, that's the one I keep going back to, you guys.
So this is beautiful. I'm so glad that both of you shared that, because there's, we have our Juice Plus franchise system, and if we utilize those tools, we will create success. If we work that system, the system will then work for us. However, within that system, we each have our own unique learning style and organization. And when we create an organizational style unique to us, that works for us, when we work it, it will then work for us. Hopefully everybody followed that train of thought. So when we first started, 12 years ago, there was this system that was relatively brand new, that was like the big hype, and it was called the Organizational Notebook. Okay, so I thought I would bring mine up here to show you. So this is mine. This is my organizational notebook, and in it I have events. So I have upcoming events and who to invite to. And here's my messy sheet. Well, these are all clean because I'm starting new, but okay, so we have who to invite to and when and how and what. Okay, and then we have I have event education, so notes that I've taken from different events. Basic Juice Plus education. I have a whole file for leads from the company. So whenever I get a lead from the company, which you'll get at a higher level leadership position, I print out the email, so that way I always have a paper copy of it. I have notes on customers. I have notes on team startups, flights, hotels. So this is my business that I can grab and take on the go.
Do you still use it?
There are some parts, like the events one, I'm getting back into. I need to put my event list back in there.
And for me, I'm not a super organized person, and I'm definitely not a paper person, although I have used this worksheet, and we're going to tell you where to get it, and you can just print up. It's the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then what the plan of the day will be. And I have used this. Fill it out once on Sunday, so I only have to think once. But for me right now, what I use most often is on my phone in the notes. I keep my running list of my memory jogger that's really active and current and alive for me, so that when I have that 5-minute stolen moment where the kids seem like they're in a good place, Lana's taking a nap, I've got 10 minutes, I go directly to that list, and that's who I'm going to be reaching out to. Because what is the #1 income producing activity?
Talk to people.
Does anybody know, other than Michael, what is the
shucks.
#2 income producing activity?
Talking to people.
Talking to people.
And what about the #3 income producing activity? Anybody
Talking
else?
to people.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, you guys are awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and screen share my screen. Screen share my screen.
Yeah.
It's like the ATM machine. Okay. Who is familiar with this brand new website here? It's called missiondriven.info. Super, super, super important. They just launched this in the past couple months. And who can tell me the password to missiondriven.info?
Mission.
Go ahead, Beth.
Mission.
Yes, because we're all on a mission. Nope.
No, it's 2 S's.
2 S's, only 1 I.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys where we can find our organizational notebook. We're going to go under build because we want to be building our team, building our customer base. We're going to scroll all the way down. And we're going to go to DMO, which stands for Daily Magnificent Opportunity, because we're manifestors of amazing opportunity. All right. And so here we have, for those of you who aren't familiar with TeamZ, here's a brief synopsis of how TeamZ works. There is a monthly cost. We do get a discount for Juice Plus. I will say again, when you use TeamZ, it will work for you, but it's got to be something that resonates with your organizational system. An organizational binder, an organizational notebook that costs, $3 to $5 for all of the paper and then a couple pens, you've got that. Here's an alternative paper DMO system. So here's just a brief synopsis of organizational notebooks that people have put together that work. But here I'm going to select the DMO planner. Boom. Okay. So we can go through this. It may or may not be redundant, but I hope that we can have an ongoing conversation. So for those of you who have not had a chance to speak, with regards to 2 new people, okay, what are some creative ways that you can make 2 new contacts a day? Was that question clear enough? 2 new contacts.
Are you talking about like 2 new prospects, like meeting 2 new people a day?
Yes. Yeah. So what's a creative example where you can find 2 new prospects?
I've got one.
You could join a new gym.
Join a new gym. You're running
Grocery
into walking
store
to the
line.
gym. People, grocery store. Go on. What else?
Go to the co-op.
Co-op. Yep.
Just taking the time to be aware of the people who are around you in your day and give 10 minutes to have a conversation.
Ooh, that's creative. So allow 10 minutes in your calendar for aimless walking to find people who are looking for you. Mm-hmm. I just glorified that, but beautiful. Okay.
Go to a different bathroom at your workplace.
Right. Meet people in the bathroom. That's interesting. I had to have fun with that one, Kirsten.
It's real. It's a real thing when you're there 7 times a day.
Yeah. Well, and I think the reality of the underlying theme of that is go someplace where you're not familiar with, or go someplace that's not in your general routine. So break up the routine to find new people.
And I have one thing to add to that. I think for me and a lot of people were really busy to go with a little bit of extra time, so that there's some cushion room to have those conversations.
Awesome. That kind of builds on Denise's, factor in 10 minutes of just, allowing life to flow. That's, what Chris says, if you want more spontaneity, schedule it. Schedule that 10 minutes of spontaneity to meet people who aren't in your normal traffic areas. Okay.
Make a date with a girlfriend for tea and ask her to invite somebody that you don't know.
Ooh, that's creative. That's fun. Oh, I like that one. Cool.
And easy and fun.
Yeah. And then we have 2 follow-ups. Okay. So a follow-up, one of the simplest ways to follow up with a customer around the 2 or 3 month mark is the customer survey, the customer experience survey. Awesome. Hey, you've been taking Juice Plus for about, 2 to 3 months. It's right around that time for us to hop on the phone for about 15 minutes or so and do a customer experience survey. When is a good time this week that'll work for you? Simple, right? And, I don't know if you've noticed on the 90-day plan that Mariah and I have been doing, Mariah's posted some really creative things on the Powerball recipes that she made, or things that you guys are doing, being a product of the product that you can then use to inspire your customers or your friends and prospects with your own real story. I'm sorry. You know what? I fast forward. So the follow-up is from the prospects. Customer care would include the customer experience survey. So excuse me for that. And then 2 team. So here's a question for you. If there are 7 days a week and you're committed to working 5 days a week with your Juice Plus business, which is what Chris and Nikki have always told us, work 5 days and you've got 2 days off, and that way you can have a little bit of makeup. If you only have 2 team members in your organization, does that mean you contact them every day? I mean, really, like,
For
think
a
about
while, I thought that.
it. That is going to be the fastest way to burn out your team, because they're going to be like, wow, they're really on top of me. What's going on?
I only want to do my HLP, but I have to contact you today. Don't you want to do more? Come on, please, 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 please. It's like the opening up the oyster and there's no pearl in there, and reopening and reopening. Go find more oysters.
Go find more oysters. Maybe they need more salt water on them. But honestly, so if you are if you need to attract it, well, so if you don't have a lot of team, touch them, give them love, meet them where they're at, but then redirect more of your time to attracting customers and meeting new people. And then here's another one, right? Our job is to build relationships and let events build our business. Every week we have at least 2 events to build to. What 2 events do we have ongoing every single week? Who knows?
Take Healthy Back.
Whoop, whoop. And what days are those?
Tuesday, Saturday.
And what times? Pacific.
5:39. Oh wait, 6-9. 5:30. Whoop.
5:30 to 6
on Tuesday and 9
9
a.m. on Saturday.
Yep. Beautiful. So we have those events to build every single week. So as we're randomly meeting people, connecting with people, gosh, I have no clue if this would be of interest to you, but there's this amazing call that we are doing with this awesome tribe, this connection. And we talk a little bit about health, a little bit about wealth, a little bit about community, a little bit about personal growth and development, all using this amazing vehicle that I've been tapping into for the past 12 years. I would love to share it with you. If it's something you're open to, I can share an invite. If not, it's all good. I'll give you a high five. Right? Simple. Make it fun, make it light, make it intriguing, make it interesting. Okay? Then we have 3-way calls, right? What is the purpose of a 3-way call or a connection call? Who knows?
To allow somebody else to be the expert.
Yeah. And what does that do? Why do we want somebody else to be the expert other than ourselves? Why is that important?
It really reinforces duplication. That means that anybody can become a part of your team. They don't have to have a particular background or training or knowledge base.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I think the important thing to remember is that duplication is in everything. It's sharing Juice Plus, it's attracting team members, it's also developing and training new team members. Even if you are fully capable of doing it, the more you bring a third-party validator, the more the person who's being brought in goes, oh, I could do this. Oh, wow. The more we bring in a variety of sideline and upline and downline and community, the more likely the person being brought into the conversation goes, wow, I really relate to that person. I relate to their story. I feel their energy. We vibe energetically, and I like this community. And so there's always value in any conversation, bringing someone else into the mix.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories is we were just leaving an event, and I think it was circumstantial. Mariah and I and Chris and Nikki weren't able to hop on a 3-way connection call, but we had Kirsten hop on a 3-way connection call with Beth. Beth and Kirsten are cousins. They have no financial connection. Kirsten was able to help Beth attract a new team member, a new family plan user.
Yeah.
And that just shows the type of heart, the type of community. This is what we do for one another. I can't tell you the number of calls I've done for people who I have no financial connection to. And I know Mariah as well.
Or I don't even know who they are or who their upline NMDs are. And it's still, it's one team, one mission.
Yep. Okay. So I want to scroll down a little bit. Social media, we know, is a rabbit hole. Don't get lost. Checking Voxer. Be mindful of your Voxer. Again, that can be a rabbit hole as well. It's really easy to lose all of your Juice Plus available time in Voxer. Know which of the chats are highest priority. Go in, touch them. We've heard some people say, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. We've had people, you know, kind of checking on the fly whenever they're in the bathroom. Whatever it is, make sure.
Everybody does Voxer when they poop.
Yeah. Whatever it is, make sure it doesn't consume you, because what builds your business is income producing activities. Voxer is not an income producing activity.
And Voxer is still a really important piece. It is part of the system. It is an integral part of the system that still has to be utilized, especially as you're attracting team, bringing the team into the broader Voxer groups as they are ready, and we're asking them for permission first. And occasionally, I can think of a couple Voxer chats that are big, have a lot of activity. I've added a team member on and then I'm not seeing them chiming in at all. I'll reach out and go, does that chat feel a little bit overwhelming? Let's take you off. It's okay. But what are the big kind of non-negotiable Voxer chats?
Well, everybody has their own team Voxer chat. Yeah. So that's huge. The next one down the line, I believe, would be the broadcast Voxer chat. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that only Nikki posts on. So that way, and that's like the most important pieces of information to share. There's no chatter, etc.
From top down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. After that, usually people get added to the Heat DreamTribe because it's still a relatively smaller group, not as much chatter. And then from there, again, pending their participation and commitment level, then they would be added to the Turn Up the Heat Voxer chat.
Right.
The piece the plug I really want to put in that I love is we have our Heat DreamTribe Facebook group. And the thing about the Heat DreamTribe Facebook group is you check it whenever you want. There's no dings. There's no, you've got 300 messages in your box, You go there when it's in your flow, and you can quickly update on everything that's happening. But please, please, please make sure that you add all of your people to that group chat.
And
I really feel like that's important.
I'll often see, 20 people have seen it, but nobody's commented. You're welcome to give constructive feedback. Let us know what you like, love, admired, would like shifting, participation.
Yeah.
And if you're meeting us with this 90-day challenge that we're taking on for ourselves, piracy is invited. Copy and paste all you want. Change it so it feels like your own verbiage, but go in there. And hopefully there's been some stuff that I've already had some nice success with some of that stuff that we've put in, and hopefully you will too.
And then also,
can I say something about commenting on Facebook?
Yeah.
On the Facebook. So I commented on something that Nikki had done, just a thank you, and acknowledged that I appreciated that she did it. And sometimes we just get so caught up in like, oh, she's done this for so long, and no, this is just part of what she's doing. And she said, thank you so much, because I need acknowledgement just as much as everybody else does. And it takes time. It takes just as much time as it takes you to check in on the Facebook page. Think how much extra time it takes to put the content there and to just acknowledge, like, even if it's just like, thank you, or a heart, or I'm excited about that. I just think it's that alone is just like the thing that then encourages you guys to step on and give us more content and keep present for us. So that's my 2 cents about commenting. And I'm not on Facebook a lot. It might be like a once every 2 weeks for me on Facebook. That's one of the areas I can strengthen. But I always try to acknowledge that I appreciate your time for what you put into it. So thank you.
And that was an awesome comment about commenting. So okay. The last piece I want to share, we zoomed off really quick from there, but look at the very, very bottom. Can everybody read what that reads? Personal growth. So here's the thing. In your daily magnificent opportunity, please make sure that you include in there some element of personal growth, whether it be what Denise was saying about learning one new thing a day, making sure you're taking your Juice Plus, something as simple as that, eating healthy meals. Some of us are using the Shred tracker during the shred, but incorporate. And the thing is when you have the ability to put it down on here, you can then check it off. And there's something about checking things off on that list that creates that positive reinforcement and that positive belief that I can do this. I can do this. So
practicing gratitude, reading your affirmations. And just the last thing, we have the mindset Voxer chat for those of you that if you're not on it and you'd like to be added, there's a whole chat that's just personal growth, and reach out to us and let us know if you want to learn more.
So everybody knows on missiondriven.info, there's this DMO tracker that we showed. Also on the Turn Up the Heat, on the Cotton Club Turn Up the Heat Facebook page, they, in the files section, is a slightly different DMO. And it gives a little bit more specifics, you know, the exact number of people, et cetera, et cetera. So find the organizational system and the daily magnificent opportunity tracker that works best for you, because remember, it will work when you work it.
And consider just filling it out once. If on Sunday you plan your week, you only have to think once. So then if you have a 5, 10, 15-minute stolen moment chunk of time throughout the week, you grab it and you don't have to think, what am I going to do? You've already planned it out and it's there for you. So with that.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right. We love you guys. We've got Stacy Joy coming up. We've got our 90-day plan on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of fun activity coming up in June. We've got some local events here. If you don't know what events are happening, ask around. And if there's nothing, then create it.
And Leavenworth.